Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Singaporean Talks Money. Today, I'll be answering some questions that has been published on Sidley and also some of my own opinions and what I'm doing. So do like or subscribe to my channel for more video content on personal finance and investing. So firstly, a disclaimer. Information published here are purely opinions or feedback and should in no way be taken as guaranteed. So if you're watching this, you're encouraged to do your own due diligence by doing sufficient research before making any decision based on the materials. So first question that I'll be answering is regarding a fresh graduate who has $40,000 with him or her. So hello, I'm a fresh grad and I have about $40,000 in my savings account. I would like to start doing long-term investments to ensure I'm financially equipped in my later years, and I'm at a loss right now. I seem to be overwhelmed by the options that I have, and I am unsure of what to do. Also, he or she reads the silly guides and it confuses him a little. So he would like to have some thoughts about this extra cash that he's holding on. So for me, I would firstly like to congratulate him or her on having $40,000 as a fresh graduate. For me, even after a year and 9 months of working full-time, I'm only at $30,000. So being at $40,000 as a fresh grad, you have a pretty good head start. So of course right now you would need to know how to properly manage this sum of money that you have. And it's very good that inside you mentioned that you're planning for some long-term investments with you starting out young. And I think with long-term investments, the compounding effects are definitely in your favor. So for me, as a fresh graduate, what I would do first is to ensure that I have an emergency fund first, about 3 to 6 months of expenses, depending on your family situation, current liabilities, and short-term payments. So an emergency fund is very important because it can provide you with peace of mind. And then also make sure that you are adequately insured, having proper protection before you move on to having your long-term investments, because since it will be a long-term, you will not want to take out the money from your investments to fund your insurance payments or emergency expenses. So it's good that you know that you're not going to get rich fast and quick, because it will definitely take a few years before the power of compounding takes effect. And investment is not a quick way of getting rich. It takes time. So overall, I would think that having $40,000 on your hand, you can have quite a lot of different options. Having a good portfolio diversification will also be important. Of course, I cannot advise you to in depth, because you should read up and find out what investment strategy you would like. For example, dividends or growth stocks that you would like to look out for. And most importantly is to read up, find out more about what you can invest in for the long term and what kind of risk appetite are you looking at. So the next question that I saw on Sidley is about this person who is asking, should I start investing in Nikko AM Singapore STI ETF using the POSB regular savings plan? So the author is unsure on whether he or she start investing in STI ETF due to the COVID, and also because he or she wants to hit the higher interest tier in the DBS multiplier. Alright, so this is a very valid question, because one of my colleagues also asked me whether should she start the investment regular savings plan so that she can hit a higher tier on her bank account. So I like to emphasize here is that I know that starting the investment regular savings plan can help you hit a higher tier in the DBS multiplier criteria. However, know that the bank interest rates are ever changing, and what you're trying to achieve here actually is to start investing a portion of your money if you can afford to. So because the context of this author is not very known, I'm not sure if he's a fresh grad or has been working for a while, or So I would suggest that if you have regular income that can covering the recurring costs because it's a regular savings plan, a monthly plan, it is a good place to start. I too started with POSB Invest Saver, where I started with $100 buying the Nikko AM STI ETF. And to be honest, in the long term, the amount of dividends that I've collected from it has been pretty substantial. Of course, definitely, Nikko AM STI ETF is listed in the Singapore Stock Exchange. So you have to know that there is definitely a certain amount of risk involved and that the price can fluctuate. For example, due to the COVID, the price has actually fluctuated from $3 plus to right now about $2 plus. So definitely that is quite a drop. And if you are putting money in, you have to make sure that you're not using money that you need for the short term, because you will need to be invested for a certain amount of time for it to be profitable. It is always good to start somewhere, and I believe that POSB Invest Saver is a most direct way of starting because everyone has a POSB or DBS bank account. And once you start, you can slowly read up more and follow up from there. So I would think that it's a good stepping stone, and I would encourage you to do so. Of course, being able to be eligible for a higher interest rate is a bonus I would consider. Yeah. So for the third question, the author is asking, I'm new to trading. I'm thinking of opening a brokerage account to buy Singapore stocks. So which are the brokerage firms that offer good trading platforms? So firstly, you would have to know that there are certain brokerage accounts that hold your Singapore stocks in custodian account, or those that can directly buy the stock and you can store it in your CDP account. Of course, there are some differences in both holding them in a custodian and being in your CDP. For example, being able to attend the AGM, and certain other decisions. So it will be good to read up on the differences as well, besides just looking for like maybe costs or something. So for me right now, currently for Singapore stocks, I use the DBS Vickers cash upfront account to buy my stocks. Because it's a cash upfront account, so I have to credit the cash into my brokerage account to be able to purchase a stock. But in this way that I'm doing, there is a lower commission, and I think it's worth it, especially since I know that I will end up paying for that amount of stocks because I'm holding it for the long term. I'm not trading it within the 3 days, Also recently, because I have a FSM one account regular savings plan that I set up, so I recently just linked my CDP account to my FSM one account, and this is because so that I can sell my Singapore stocks at a lower commission price than DBS Vickers, because if I sell via DBS Vickers, I'm not able to use the DBS cash upfront account. I'll have to use a normal brokerage account, and it would be about the normal commission fees, whereas if I use a FSM one account to sell, it will allow me to sell it at a lower price. So I'm also using a FSM one account for what I mentioned earlier, my regular savings plan of buying VT and tracker fund of Hong Kong, and I also used it to buy US stocks. For example, I bought Tesla recently. I think the main thing you want to look out here is that there might be some fees involved, and if you are holding in a custodian account, when you want to move your stocks over next time, there will be other fees involved, and it will be good to, of course, definitely check and make sure that you don't end up paying too much transfer fees or commission in the future long run. So I've roughly answered the 3 questions that I found on Seedly, and I would like to emphasize again that the suggestion provided by me is not the best. I'm just suggesting some ideas on how you can manage your money if you're thinking about it. I'm also not sponsored by Seedly in any way, and I thank them for having a platform for people to ask financial questions or any other money-related issues. So you can also head over to their website to see more questions and answers from different people and different perspectives. So I would like to end off saying that you have to make your money work for you. It does not sleep, get tired, or go on vacation. So you can work it real hard and get more out of it. Alright? I'll be posting more of this kind of videos, and I think if you do like them, you can feedback to me on how maybe I can improve, or what kind of questions are you looking out for. So if you are still on till the end of the video, thank you so much for your time and staying till the end. Do like, subscribe for me to continue producing more videos for you guys. Thank you.